so much, and thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here. So I'm Jennifer Manner. I'm the Senior Vice President of Regulatory Affairs and International Strategy at AST SpaceMobile. And I only recently joined the company after a fairly long career in regulations and primarily in space, both at the FCC, NTIA in the States, and also at a number of companies. And I'm super excited about AST because we're focused on bringing space-based broadband being the key, mobile connectivity directly to unmodified devices. So even though mine is very large, most people have smaller devices like this. And what's really exciting about what we're doing is that we're actually focused on bringing broadband. So you'll see today a number of operators have, for instance, Globalstar and Apple have some text messaging capabilities, as does SpaceX and others. But what we've been testing and what we've proven is able to do is to actually get broadband streaming and other services. So I think that's going to be a big focus of my discussion today, and I'm thrilled to be here. So thank you. Over back to you.
So Jennifer, my question comes from the angle of regulatory side. How do you see regulators adopting to the NTN in terms of spectrum access and sharing? Because that's a complex topic now.
Yeah, it's a good question, and I think we still have some education and some work together. I should say that I'm actually one of the international chairs at the ITU, so I spend a lot of time working with regulators across the world. And I thought I'd give an example is the use of IMT spectrum for direct-to-device, which is agenda item for the World Radio Conference in 27. And that was really quite ingenious. I still remember it was pre-COVID, and I was talking to someone from Vodafone, and I have to say I didn't believe it would work. You know, they were like, "Well, it's going to operate within the technical parameters of a cellular network," and I'm sitting there laughing. I'm a lawyer, not an engineer, so I should disclaim that. But it does work, and I think the problem is our regulation hasn't quite caught up with technology, and this is a great example where systems like ours today and others are able to do direct-to-device using IMT spectrum and have capabilities. Our satellite system has many spot beams, so we're able to form beams to avoid interference, et cetera, et cetera. So there's these technologies today that enable you to do these innovative things, but regulators are scared. And I've been a regulator, so I understand that you don't want to make the same choice. And so that's forcing people to wait in a number of countries. Some countries have gone forward with regulation, the United States, Australia, New Zealand, the UK is about to issue rules, some other regulators, but many are waiting until the results of studies and the WRC to take action. And unfortunately, that does slow down innovation and availability to consumers, because I do think this is a great new service. And to think about that people anywhere can really be connected for broadband services is remarkable. It's really a way to solve the digital divide. So hopefully that answered your question. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Just as a follow-up on this spectrum side, how do you see the collaboration with the terrestrial network operators being the core pillar of the whole evolution?
That's remarkable, a remarkable change. And I think it's still evolving. The fact that companies like mine are willing, are really good partners to the terrestrial operators. I mean, in the IMT situation, which let me back up, there's two flavors of direct to device. One is using mobile satellite spectrum directly, and the other is using IMT terrestrial spectrum on your satellite. And in the latter approach, many operators around the world, we have, tens of MNO partners, and other people have partnered. We have Vodafone in Europe, AT&T, Verizon, because they want to work with us, because we're working in a collaborative method. We're using their spectrum. We're ensuring that we're not causing interference. And that's a big change. And we've seen it. It's been a long time getting to NTN. I remember when we were first going as a satellite industry to 3GPP and seeking to have satellite included. That was not easy. The terrestrial industry wasn't saying, yay, let's go. They were very hesitant. And it's taken a lot of work to show how satellite and terrestrial can actually operate together and be complementary. Today, I think that's a huge improvement. Now, I don't think everyone's comfortable yet. I can't say that, everyone's on board on either side, but we're getting there. And I think that's critical if we're going to be able to bring the best solutions to consumers and really get service out to the widest number of consumers wherever they are. I thought it was interesting, it was just this week or last week, the Australians issued a consultation on legislation that would create universal mobile obligations, and it would require the wireless industry to have full geographic coverage of their areas in Australia. So pretty much all of Australia covered, and that's being allowed to be done by satellite as a complementary service. So there's all sorts of novel approaches going on. I don't know what the common cycle is going to look like for Australia, but I certainly think it's exciting and a really good way to extend service. So thank you.